So who gets lucky in Las Vegas? As we're here for the Traxxas TORC Truck Series presented by AMSOIL, the Kumho Tires Pro 4x4s, the first of our 3 classes where we will crown champions tonight. I'm Marty Reid alongside Brendon Guaghan, and Brendon, 8 Pro 4x4s, and there's the man of the hour in this very difficult track conditions, Rick Huseman. All he has to do is basically start this race. Let's hear from him.
All right, Rick, as you turn on your truck, the championship is all but yours. I'm sure there's several emotions running through your mind and your heart. How are you going to handle all that knowing you've got a couple of laps left to go?
You know, I'm gonna go out there and race my hardest. As long as I can pass that green flag, I'm gonna go run it hard.
And he's going to start 6th in this 8-truck field, Brendon.
Yeah, but he's got this championship locked up, and that makes Rick Huseman very dangerous. He's got nothing to do but go for the W. Here's the green flag, my hometown, Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
And it means everybody else is going for the checkers as well, because they want to finish the season on a high note. The final round of racing, and on board with Johnny Greaves, and we're already getting the contact.
Taking a big smack right there, and it launched Greaves to the lead. Look at him, the Monster Energy Toyota. Johnny, great. This is a new track for everybody, Marty, so everybody is unfamiliar with this place. You can see Barlow getting into the K-rail there a little bit. Look at the mud, but also look at the dust that's coming up at the same time. This track, nightmare for Tire Group.
It has been difficult to say the least, because as you see Adrian Cheney get around Steve Barlow, and now Barlow trying to come back and do the same to him. You see that's a very slick gypsum that they have to deal with here, and it doesn't hold a lot of moisture.
No, you can see dust being kicked up from behind. You saw them just, sliding on a sheet of grease going up that racetrack, but then you got spots like this where it's just deep mud.
Let's go back and show you what happened to Steve Barlow. Just over rotates.
Yeah, just got into the corner. He hooked a rut with the mud. That was a deep mud section. It slid in, front end caught more, and did a nice job of stopping it, not running into the K-rail.
Well, Johnny Greaves has opened up, as you can see, about a 7-truck length lead already in this 8-truck field, and everybody wants to finish with a win because it takes momentum into the following season.
Well, you're trying to, go to your sponsor and saying, hey, look at what a great job we've done. Rick Huseman, whoa, he does the same thing Barlow did a couple laps ago. But, he's already got that championship. He's already got the wins. He's saying it. Everybody else wants to go to the next season and say, hey, guys, look what I did.
That was Scott Douglas. It looked like he was a little toothless on the front grill. We'll find out why as soon as we can. You can see there that Rick clinched the championship just by starting here. And look at the mud.
I don't miss this about off-road racing, Marty. This is NASCAR. Some days has some perks to it. Not having your helmet look like that, that's one of them.
This is one of those deals where your truck weighs 400 pounds heavier because of all the mud by the end of the race. Oh, this is what happened. There's what happened to Scott Douglas, and that's why he's toothless in the front.
Well, Scott Douglas, what we see, Barlow missed the K-rail barely. We saw Huseman miss the K-rail, and Scott Douglas just went over the K-rail. So that's an interesting corner right there.
Boy, all of a sudden, some flames shooting out of the 22 on Greaves, but it isn't slowing him down. He's got the hammer down, and he's up and over on the bicycle, and he rolls it.
No, go. I thought he might get it back on his wheels there, Marty. You can see that's just excess. He's running that engine really rich. That Toyota had a lot of fuel burning in it. That wasn't anything bad. He was just on fire in a good sense. But here we go. You see the little exhaust. He gets in the corner, just hooks a rut right there, right where it becomes the banking of the oval track. He gasses it one more time. You see the wheels. Tried to get it back on all 4. Right here, Marty. He goes from, you see the thick mud to that gypsum-based dirt you were talking about. Hooked it right in the bottom of the wheel.
I can't remember the last time I saw Johnny Greaves roll a truck when he was in the race lead.
And with no pressure, just make a flat-out mistake. Johnny Greaves has had a rough season this year. Great onboard footage right there. Folks at home, that hurts pretty good. You got to understand, rolling slows down energy, but it still knocks you pretty hard when you hit. And don't forget, as we see right here, he's been racing with a broken collarbone in a mountain biking accident.
Yeah, he has 3 wins earlier this year, but the last was back at round 8. This is round 16. Shows you how the back half of the season just didn't go Johnny's way, and it ends on a sour note. We're back to green flag racing. Kyle LeDuc is now up front. And look at Adrian Cheney ducked down inside.
Adrian, great move to get to the inside. Barlow and Adrian's great friend Kurt Leduc right behind him, chasing him down into this K-rail corner.
And of course, Brendon is being a little facetious there. There's a bit of bad blood between Mr. Cheney and the 43 of Kurt Leduc. In fact, Adrian talked about it.
Been taken out 3 times now by Kurt, and he's quite good at it too. He's quite good at hitting you and taking you out, and he's very comfortable with that.
Well, you know, they've had their run-ins. Kurt Leduc's had a few over the years. Adrian is no stranger, the wild man, but touche, boys.
St. Adrian. We'll find out if it holds up. All right, we've caught up with Johnny Greaves. Tiffany.
What happened out there?
I don't know, you know, I got out in the lead and I was feeling good, and the truck was rotating good and accelerating, and I just was stepping it. Every lap I was trying to step up my pace a little bit, see what I could do, and needed a win bad, you know, so you push it, and pushed it too hard.
And that's Johnny Greaves at his best, though. You see, he was pushing hard, got a broken shoulder blade, he's had a lot of hits this year. He needed to win for his sponsors, he went for it. That's Johnny Greaves' style.
Well, he's not going to win by any stretch of the imagination. As you can see, the dust in that one corner still kicking up, and all of a sudden, more problems for our champion, the 36. Oh, it's a right front tire.
Right there, Marty. It looked like he still had 4-wheel drive, though. You know how these 4-wheel drives, when they break it, they start doing donuts, and it really slows them down. Looks like he's still got front-wheel drive turning, but he's got a right front flat.
Let's go see what it looks like over the jump. Yeah, look at the right front.
Yeah, you can see it right there when the pressure gets put on it. Now, that's a Toyo tire. He's got an inner liner inside that tire, though. That's how it stayed up, but he's coming into the crew, getting a little bit of a tire change there.
And because of the yellow coming out, we'll go back to green flag racing now with lap 6 of 14. We haven't even made it to halfway, and already a ton of action with all the drivers. Whoa, and Cheney really power sliding it through.
And did you notice how it was just the left front tire locked up? These trucks, we have some really exotic braking designs in here. We can pull a left front or right front. There's handles, there's 2 pedals. It's really cool to see the inside of these trucks.
Right now, a nice little freight train. Look at Kurt Leduc and the 43 trying to get underneath Rick Huseman. And the 7 of Scott Douglas right in front of him. But right now, it is Adrian Cheney. And there's your new champion, Rick Huseman, in 4x4 action. Traxxas TORC Truck Series presented by AMSOIL, brought to you here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And oh my, Kyle Leduc had the lead as we came back, but there goes Adrian Cheney right underneath him, and more problems for the 36, our new champion, Rick Huseman.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter for Rick. He's already got the championship. He's taking a break, but look at the holes on the track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Those are big, big holes they're going on that dirt track, and Adrian Cheney flying to the lead through them, but wow, I mean, that track's getting torn up with these Pro 4x4s.
Cheney's best finish this year has been 2nd. Let's go back and show you what happened a little bit earlier. This is where Huseman has some contact. Oh, and something happens as the result. And he mows down one of the sponsor banners. That won't go over real well.
They'll send him a check for that one or a bill for that one. And Adrian now with the lead, but
this is a problem.
I'll tell you what, this is a night that nobody wants to win. Oh, Adrian into the... And Kyle Leduc plows into him. He's getting hit by a Leduc. Does that make him happy? But he's doing the whole can't see thing.
Well, and we've seen this before. Walker Evans did this years ago, and you have to actually steer from the out to the side.
You got to look to your left, keep an orientation into where the racetrack is. As Kyle Leduc's got the lead now, Adrian still doesn't know that he's been passed twice now by Scott Douglas. And, you know, these guys, TORC Series, they have spotters. But right now, as a driver, you just got to go fast enough to get that body to blow off. And his spotter's doing a really bad job of telling him where to go.
Yeah, because he just sent him sideways over that last series of jumps. But he manages to hold on. Just a matter of time before he gets black flagged on this. Because, oh, look out! Barlow T-bones him.
And right there, there's Kurt Leduc.
If you think this has been the abnormal style of racing, well, take a look at the whole season here in the Pro 4x4s. For Johnny Greaves, the winningest driver in off-road, the season's been bookend of unplanned trips. The first at Texas in the opener, then it got hot in Brendon, and then again earlier tonight. But for Monster Energy teammate Rick Huseman, it's been all about consistency. Consistently going hard and finding himself either on the podium or right on top of it. For everyone else in the class, Barlow, Leduc, Douglas, Cheney, it was just stomping on it. One way, shape, form, or another. Well, tonight, it's a victory lap for Rick with the championship now in hand.
I have a feeling that's not going to stop yet, all these accidents. Adrian Cheney got the hood off. He's ready to go.
Well, this is the competition caution. Let's find out what happened to Rick Huseman. Tiffany?
Guys, I just spoke with Rick Usman's crew out here, and what they told me is at this point, all they know is that his steering went out. Back to you.
And you look at him, he's got that big smile on his face because he knows he's still got the championship in his hip pocket.
And his steering went out. He just didn't want to get any money. He was tired of it.
Look at Kyle LeDuc. He has a flat left front. He had it before the competition caution, and he did not fix it.
No, that's going to cost. He's got the lead right now. All he had to do is come in, blow the lead. There's 5 trucks left running. That was a horrible decision by Kyle LeDuc.
Here comes Mike Jenkins. We haven't talked much about him in several races, but all of a sudden, he's in the mix.
He's running right behind Scott Douglas, who's going to inherit the lead as soon as Kyle LeDuc's tire just goes flat the rest of the way.
Well, and speaking of Scott Douglas, he's one of the drivers trying to look forward to next year. In fact, we talked about his plans.
We're not going to try and do these big changes that we did in this year, at the beginning of the year, that put us in the hole. We're going to try and have some stuff in our back pocket, but we want to go out for 0-10 swinging as hard as we left 0-9.
And that's a guy that knows how to do it. He's been doing it for years. He's got 2 trucks this year, came in with a big splash. That AMSOIL Kumho Tire Super Team will be back strong next year.
Well, in the last 5 rounds, he picked up 2 wins. The back half of the season's been a lot better for him. And all of a sudden, though, he's got Mike Jenkins now passing him for 2nd place.
What a great job. The Jenkins brothers, Traxxas RC cars, they come in the sport, make a big splash as a sponsor, and they say, we want to go play with you guys. Now he's passing Scott Douglas, former 4x4 champion.
Well, let's go back to a little bit earlier. Take a look. Remember we talked about these guys being close buddies? That's a little too close.
Christmas ham list right there. They're just exchanging addresses.
Kurt LeDuc was trying to piggyback and just not have to drive anymore, I guess, on the back of Adrian Cheney. Now, we've been told by race officials that he will be black flag. Kurt LeDuc, that is. Let's check in with Tiffany.
Why NASCAR drivers' cockpits are different from the TORC drivers' cockpits.
Our racing, we really try to build the cars to support the body of the driver because we're turning the same direction all the time. Don't do that on a road course as much, and certainly can't do that in an off-road vehicle. On top of that, you know, we're not going over bumps and jumps, so our seats can be much more rigid and stiff, and we don't have kind of some of the suspended seats that you might see in the TORC series. With all that in mind, you end up with this seat in a NASCAR vehicle. It's a carbon fiber seat, a mold that's made directly for my body. Then also you have the head and neck area, this headrest area. You rest your helmet against the right side since we're mainly turning left, and a very small gap on the left side so that you can keep the head controlled in an impact. For us, wearing the Hans device, you have a 30-degree window for the Hans device to work correctly. So we really try to keep that gap narrow for the head to control the head in an impact. But if you put this in an off-road vehicle with that small gap, your head literally would bounce back and forth between the two and wouldn't work. And I know that in the TORC series, there's some other devices that the guys use to help them so they don't have any neck or back injuries.
So thanks to Jimmy as he closes in on his 4th unprecedented in a row Sprint Cup championship.
Whoa!
Oh, what happens to Kyle? Oh, that flat tire.
Left front tire right there. He gets in the mud, probably couldn't turn it, smacked it. Here we go. Looking right there, you see the left front tire. Remember, it's flat. He gets out into that loamy dirt. Wham! Right into the K-rail.
So a bad decision just got worse for Kyle LeDuc, and now his season. And look who's got the race lead.
There you go. Just what we talked about. Here.
Oh, that's Scott Douglas catching on fire. Every time we turn around, somebody else is having something happen.
That's his new truck right there, too. That's the new AMSOIL Ford. I mean, that's a huge fire right there. And Scott Douglas, wow, I mean, he come over to the side. You see the safety workers getting there with fire extinguishers. Even the tire's on fire.
Fuel just pouring out of that. We'll find out how he's doing. Meanwhile, that is Mike Jenkins with the yellow coming out again. He has the race lead. Could he be on the verge of his first win in pro 4x4 competition? Now, there are the safety workers trying to get Douglas out. And look at this fireball.
Night racing, I mean, this is what the fans love about it. The colors are much more vivid, and Scott Douglas definitely making it exciting for the fans. You see water pouring out the back. You see his Kumho tire on fire. Here you go, right in front of Adrian Cheney.
Well, the officials at Las Vegas Motor Speedway should be giving him an extra fee because he's provided plenty of fireworks, but they didn't have to. All right, we're going to find out if Scott Douglas is okay when we come back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The action's not over yet. A red flag situation because of the fireball for Scott Douglas. Take you back and show you one more time. We can tell you Scott is A-OK. In fact, let's catch up with him, see what happened.
And I'm pretty sure that was a transmission just grenading because it wasn't shifting quite right and a few things were going on, and or it was a converter, one or the other. But boy, what a brutal race.
Brutal. That's a good word.
Yes, it is. And to the folks at home, guys like Bill Simpson, we're safe in fires. They've done a great job. But here's the shootout, baby. One lap, white flag.
And half of our field is on the sidelines. It's a 4-truck shootout. And look at Mike Jenkins, and here comes Barlow. And then the 43 of Kurt LeDuc, followed by Jenny.
Look at Jenkins. He wants that win, baby. Go for it, Mike. I know I'm not supposed to be biased, but Marty, you got to root for the guy that's never won.
He has only 4 top 5 finishes all season long, the best being 3rd. Whoa, don't get sideways there. He's looking at a potential first win here in the last round. 16th round of racing, and he's got about half a lap to go.
LeDuc's out. LeDuc made the mistake. Here it comes down 2 corners. Jenkins never won. Steve Barlow, the Red Bull truck. Final corners at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Come on, Marty.
Barlow's got the inside line. Here comes the slide job, and he's going to use him as a bit of a carry. They're heading for the stripe, and it is Mike Jenkins.
Yeah, baby. Nice job, Jenkins. What a way to hold off some pressure right there. And coming across our last two, the modified of Adrian Cheney.
What do you mean, his modified? They were all modified.
What a great job. Mike Jenkins, Traxxas RC Cars. They own the company. They sponsor the sport. Here comes our champion to give him. Everybody loves the Jenkins brothers. They're such great people. What a great way to end the season.
So there's our new champion, Rick Huseman, congratulating a first-time winner. There are the final results as Mike Jenkins gets his first win, and boy, is he happy. Let's talk to him.
How emotional is this for you to finally get this breakthrough win?
It's big. It's big for the team. We've got guys out there that just bleed passion. Our guys in Wisconsin, Jenkins brothers, our whole crew is just unbelievable. You know, they've coached us from zero experience in the dirt a little over a year and a half ago to us making some progress this season. So sometimes they come to you and you wait and you're glad to have them. This is one of those occasions we're glad to have our first win in the team.
Steve Barlow, could you see your teammates cheering you on as you came around for that exciting finish?
I couldn't see the screen in front of me. I literally, all I saw was mud. Charlie was telling me, go light, turn now. And I'm like, I'm trying to turn, you know, and I almost hit the tire on that one lap, and Charlie said, oh, he was watching the race, I think, too much, and he goes, sorry about that, I forgot to tell you there's a tire on the inside. So it was a fun race.
There was a black flag out there for what happened with Cheney. What was that?
You sure that's what it was for?
I believe so.
Oh, I don't think that's what it was all about, but you know, I think Jenny and I maybe got all the rubbing out of our system, and you know, it's just part of racing. You can't see, you know, you got to stay on the gas, and you know, it was an exciting weekend, and look forward to next season.
You can't see. That's the Braille method when you just crawl right up over top of him. There's the champion as we get to celebrate with him. And boy, it is a great moment. Rick Huseman, 6 wins by 14 points over Kyle LeDuc, his first ever off-road championship.
Rick Huseman, you had a front row seat out here. What a crazy way to win a championship.
That was awesome, man. My Monster Energy Traxxas Toyota was working really good tonight, but I got into an accident, but oh well, I won the championship. I'm happy.
What happened?
He just didn't want to get in the carnage with everybody else. Those trucks are destroyed.
Well, wonder if the Prolights are going to be just as wicked. There is Jeff Kincaid. He can wrap up the title with a 13th place finish or better. There are 16 trucks in the field, so the odds are pretty solid that Jeff Kincaid is going to take home another championship crown. The green flag is out. We're racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
We got Casey Curry, one of our young guns, in the front row with Mark Oberg inside. Oh, as they're getting a little tail happy over that first jump. But you see Curry on the way outside the old motocross line. Oberg, wham, gets hit by Marty Hart, but Curry got the whole shot.
So for Casey Curry, he'll be looking for his second win. Remember, he won back at Texas at the very first stop on tour, but there is the battle for second. Oberg in the 30 holding off Marty Hart.
Well, and that Texas track, very similar to this one. Tight, technical, muddy. Casey Curry showing he can race in the mud, but here's the initial start. Look at Curry way on the outside near the wall. Mark Oberg down on the inside, just like a motocross race. Who's going to get it? Casey Curry.
Rim ride paid off for Casey Curry there, and right now he opens up about a 4 or 5 truck length lead.
Doing a nice job. I mean, you see that the Prolights don't handle those big bumps that we saw the Pro 4x4s handling better through those corners, but he's doing a great job pulling away from the field. Got a good tire groove on his race car, just trying to pick and choose and get another W here.
As remember, less wheelbase and less horsepower and less weight with these Prolight trucks. As you're on board with Jeff Kincaid, And like I said, all he has to do is finish 13th or better, and right now he's running back in 6th position.
Yeah, Kincaid right now, I mean, we all know he's moving on next year, so I think he's just trying to get through this last championship.
Jeff Kincaid's going to be leaving this class at the end of the year, going to Pro 2 or Pro 4. Here's one of the newcomers, Brian Deegan. Of course, Deegan made his name in X Games competition. You've got Jeremy McGrath, who came over from Supercross and Motocross, and we're seeing a big trend in this next generation of up-and-coming stars in the world of off-road truck racing. In fact, we talked to him about it.
TORC is Supercross and trucks.
It's got all the features of a NASCAR. You have to have a talent on a motocross bike, and I feel that TORC brings it both to the table.
I'd like to hopefully think I'm on the front end of a movement of the younger generation coming in, more action sport athletes coming in and making this sport turn into more of like an X Games style vibe where kids can come and look up to their heroes that kind of have that image. That's kind of what I see where it's going.
It's so dynamic and awesome and cool and just so out of the normal. This sport has come a long way from racing like little ho-dunk fields in, you know, the Midwest to big events like this here in Vegas. And, you know, these tracks here in these big cities, I think it's really cool. I've seen it come a long, long way.
I think TORC is the greatest thing that ever came about off-road racing. I think TORC has a variation of all the racing that we've done in the past, and I think they've just brought it to a new level. Ultimate goal is I want to race off-road in front of 100,000 people. I don't want to race NASCAR. I don't want to race Supercross. I want to race TORC.
This is the next big thing. It's going to pop. This is awesome, man. And if you haven't seen it, you need to definitely get out and see it because you'll be in love.
I'll remember that one day if Casey's looking to come NASCAR racing, but, you know, Todd LeDuc probably has the best history of that whole deal. Brian Deegan, the Metal Militia, we all know about the X Games titles. The LeDucs, though, they've been around a long time.
And we'll be seeing Jeremy and Todd a little bit later in Pro 2 competition. Right now, this is Pro Light. That was Deegan running in 3rd place. And there you see Casey Curry with Marty Hart, who had gotten around Mark Oberg while we were listening to the guys talk about the next generation. And now we've got a great battle for the race lead.
And talk about a generation gap. Marty Hart, old Mickey Thompson Stadium racing versus Casey Curry, a young gun. Right now, Curry is holding the old wily veteran off. They go through over the jumps. We're going to step aside for just a moment. After this message, we'll be back. You're going to get a word from our ABC station. This TORC Series, fans have tattoos of their favorite driver's number. Las Vegas, baby. Love Las Vegas.
We're at the end of the competition. Caution and all again. It looks like it's going to be Casey Curry jumping up. Whoa! And Chad Hort, who has moved into 2nd, got a challenge going with Marty Hart.
Marty Hart and Chad Hort had great battles all this season. Look at inside out, outside back in. Chad Hort not giving up that 2nd spot quite yet.
Chad Hort, another that is going to be moving on to either Pro 2, Pro 4 action next year, as he has been duking it out with Jeff Kincaid for years in this class, and both of them are moving on. And here goes Marty Hart back into 2nd place.
Yeah, they've had a decade of dominance, these two guys. I mean, everybody knew Chad Hort, Jeff Kincaid. They just dominate this whole sport. It's going to be nice to see guys like Brian Deegan, Casey Curry, maybe, you know, getting a chance to shine now.
Well, we mentioned the fact that he is on the verge of a championship. Jeff Kincaid, let's get an update from Tiffany Simons.
I just spoke with Jeff Kincaid's crew, and they told me he has a carburetor issue. However, he's going to stay in the race, keep on driving around. He wants to collect as many points as he can. You know, it is his farewell in Prolights, so he wants to finish it out, guys.
Well, he's running 5th right now and has to finish 13th or better to clinch the championship, and he's pretty well got it locked up. Well, let's talk about the leading man of the class, Jeff Kincaid. He started the season on a rough note. He's opened the door to a supporting cast of drivers like Casey Curry.
It's my first one ever. Woo!
And Marty Hart. And Brian Deegan, along with fellow veteran Chad Hort, who had his own challenging moments. But as the season wore on, the multi-time champion asserted himself and now finds himself on the precipice of his 7th title. And it looks like he's on track to lock it up tonight. Right now, our race leader, though, is young Casey Curry, one of those young guns we were talking about, Brendon.
And where's Casey's driver's side door gone? Nobody's even close enough to put any pressure on him. I think they may have just didn't want to keep the weight on there.
He was going so fast, it just blew off.
Well, you know, the Monster Nissan is on fire tonight, but
trouble for Marty Hart as we have the slowed and stopped vehicle, Jimmy Stevenson, in the way, and he went the high side and may have done some damage to that truck.
Yeah, you can look at it right there. The right front suspension and tire looks like he's done some damage. He got into that mud, pulled him out. He saw the caution probably late, was in the thick stuff, and you see the left front tire is flat, and I bet he did some suspension damage. He hit that K-rail pretty hard.
So Casey Curry has taken care of just about everybody in this field tonight now, with Marty Hart falling by the wayside. The white flag is out. You can see nobody is even close.
You know, Mr. Reid, sir, I remember back in the day when I was a young pup winning races way long time ago when you were doing the television, not with me, but watching me. This is going to be a very excited young man when he gets out of this race car tonight. He's stomped the field into a mud hole. Look at the lead he has. He is going to get out of this race car and just be all excited.
Las Vegas, the lights off into the distance, and it looks like we're on our way to another winner who picks up his second win, caps off a great season with Casey Curry. We've already had Mike Jenkins pick up his first career win, as here he comes around the final corner, taking the checkered flag. Casey Curry, your winner in pro light competition here in the Traxxas TORC Off-Road Racing Series, as he is one very happy race car driver. And we can tell you Jeff Kincaid comes across the line and wins the Pro Light Championship as he finishes in 6th position. So Jeff picks up his 7th championship. Let's talk to him, Tiff.
Jeff Kincaid, congratulations. This is your 7th championship in 10 years. What a way to cap out your Pro Light career.
Yeah, you know, I've been in this Pro Light for a long time, and I wanted to go out as a champion, and that's the game I had to play today. You know, I was scared. You know, I had to tell my guys where I'm at. You know, because Marty had a chance of beating me, so we worked hard and just kept playing. And once they said, "Oh, we're down to 11 guys, you got championship," I took off racing, and also my fuel pressure went away on me. So I was like, I'm still going to finish this race. You know, and bring home a championship for Traxxas, Forest County, Pato, Adams, BF Goodrich, and Amsoil. Woo!
He did finish in 6th position, and there you see the final results with Casey picking up his 2nd win of the year.
You just told me that is what you needed. Why?
You know, this year has been up and down, and Monster gave me everything I needed to win, and, you know, I needed to do it for them and my parents, and I'm going to do exactly what I did in Texas. Wow, baby! Dude, BFG, I mean, we killed it today. I didn't pull one tear off in the mud, and that says a lot. You know, there's a lot of competitors behind me. I can see it in my mirror, but we had it going the whole time. Yeah! Woo!
Chad Horde, a battle of a season, and yet you never gave up. It takes a lot of strength to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, we got, I think, 4 wins this year. We led the points championship for quite a while, and last couple of races have been kind of tough for us, but, you know, just we wanted to keep this Boss Snowplow Amsoil Kumo tire truck on top. This is probably my last Pro Light race, so we're happy to be here again, and we're just going to keep marching forward.
And another podium for you. Talk about being consistent at the very end of the season.
Well, we've been pretty consistent all year long. You know, Kumo tires, they've been helping us out a lot. And, you know, this goes out to my spotter. I was ready to give up after that first yellow, and thanks to all the TORC people, and everybody worked so hard to get us here, so thank you.
And that brings us to our closest championship battle of the year, where Ricky Johnson and Pro2 sprinted to the top of the points lead.
So the winner for the 3rd time this year, Ricky Johnson.
Fellow 2-wheel star Jeremy McGrath continued his fight for first win. Oh, look at Jeremy McGrath. But the hugely talented veteran Rob McCachran soon started racking up checkered flags. It was Rob McCachran, with Kyle LeDuc also finding his way onto the podium. The bad blood boiled up last round. They're going to settle it here tonight, and it's coming up next.
It all comes down to this. The duel of Ricky Johnson and Rob McCachran in the desert of Las Vegas. Only 9 points separate these two gladiators as they battle it out flag to flag, and it all starts right now.
And the one thing you have to remember, Rob McCachran, if he finishes 3rd or better, it doesn't matter what happens with the other guys involved in this mix.
This is a great points battle. This is what we wanted right here. Ricky Johnson, Rob McCachran, Todd LeDuc, an outside chance. But we saw it last round. Tempers flared. Ricky and Rob, this is going to be a great battle to the finish.
16 trucks. That's Dan Vanden Heuvel on the front row in the red 77, along with Scott Taylor right alongside. You can see Ricky Johnson starts 5th, Rob McCachran 6th in the inversion. And we're green at Las Vegas, the final race of 2009.
You see right there, you got Vanden Heuvel on the outside. Look at McGrath going to the bottom.
Oh, and Jeremy.
No.
gets wide, and look who inherits the lead. From 5th to 1st, it's the 48 of Ricky Johnson.
Ricky Johnson just patient right there. He saw it set up. He saw McGrath go to the inside.
Bad. It's sort of like that. I think driving in the dust is a little bit scarier just because you have, it's like whiteout. You have no idea where you're at.
Well, you learned that from desert racing, Jeremy. The more you do the desert, you have those dust issues. But Rob McCackern now starting to pick away at these guys that he needs to be at. You see the movers. Look at some names up there. Archiero, Menzies, off-road guys. But the Archiero family hasn't been in the short course world for a long time.
Yeah, Father Frank Jr. was a big off-roader, and both his brother and great racing family for the desert, and now trying their hand at the short course. Right there, you look at our race leader, Ricky Johnson, doing everything that he has to do. He must win this race, and he needs for the 11 of Rob McCackern to finish 4th or worse. And right now, he's got his wish because McCackern shown in 5th officially.
Yeah, you see Rob right now battling through the mud. This is just a war for Rob right now. You see him right there. What a great job. Actually, that's LeDuc right there battling with Rob.
They are side by side, and now he moves into 4th. So he's got one more position that he must make up to clinch the position he needs to win the championship.
And he's got Scott Taylor in front of him. That's going to be a tough job.
All right, let's get an update on track conditions. You can see how tough it is for Pro 2. Tiffany, what's the latest from down there?
Before the start of this race, Ricky Johnson was out here personally checking up on this track, and the crew has been working around the clock to help alleviate some of the problems from last night. They put down calcium chloride and soap, hoping that mixture would help the dirt absorb more water. In addition to that, they put down more than 20,000 gallons of water throughout the day, with the thinking that the water could seep down into the soil as deep as possible, so when these trucks ran out here tonight, they wouldn't take off the top layer and leave us with just dust.
And remember, with Pro 2, you don't have that front wheel drive pulling you through the corner, so that it makes it much harder. And look at Bryce Menzies, his 2nd career TORC Series start, and here he is running in the top 5.
Looking good. Got Butchie Speed Shop on the side of the road. Butch Dean, another famous off-road racer from Vegas.
Right, we talked about the championship. How about if we hear from Ricky Johnson, the man who's leading in front?
It's been a tight battle. As a promoter, this is what you want. You want it coming down to 2 guys. I mean, it'd be great if there was just a couple points and whoever wins, but if I win, he gets 2nd, he'll win the championship. If he has a problem, he gets back, I can win it.
It's not over, Marty. We've seen this for years. I mean, I remember my first Soda Championship, 95, same thing. Anything can happen.
Well, don't forget, we've got the competition caution coming up, and that will tighten everybody else. Here are the scenarios on how McCackern clinches, and there you can see he's in front of Todd LeDuc. That's exactly where he wants to be. And Scott Taylor has just given him another position because Taylor has snapped the right front.
That thing's gone. That's going to take more than a Miller welder to fix that. The right front is destroyed. I don't know. I didn't see him hit anything out there, Marty. Where's the tire?
That moves McCackern into 3rd. That's exactly where he needs to finish this race. As you see on our GoPro onboard camera, Rob McCackern surviving the mud, and he may just survive long enough to win a championship.
That's exactly what Rob wanted. I mean, Scott Taylor was going to be his toughest guy up there to get by. Now all he's got to do is get by Bryce Menzies. But look at how much weight is on these race trucks right now, Marty. That mud, Ricky Johnson's in the lead. He still has probably a couple 100 pounds of mud. Wait till we go back and look at right here this battle with Menzies. Oh, and Rob McCackern. Look at the amount of mud caked on these things. That's a huge setup issue for the crew chiefs before this race started.
Heading down that hard left-hander. Menzies, he's on the outside. McCackern's on the inside. McCackern wants to get into 2nd because, remember, he picks up a bonus point. Oh, and he hits the wall.
I can't believe Rob's taking that chance. I know you get bonus points for getting to this lap, trying to minimize that damage. But, man, you get a flat right there, Rob. You cost yourself.
Well, here we go to the competition caution. Ricky Johnson gets 2 bonus points and 1 point for Rob McCackern. So McCackern will start 2nd when we come back for the shootout. You talk about the cameras that get us those great onboards. That's what they look like. AMSOIL brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. And Kumho Tires. Get your style. We Get ready to go back to green flag racing halfway through this AMSOIL Pro 2-wheel drive competition. It's Ricky Johnson out in front, and there is Rob McCachran in the 11 on the high side trying to make the pass for the lead.
I don't know if he got it there. He tried to get on the outside. Looks like Ricky, whoa, look at the big lead Ricky pulled out. I think Rob lost a spot there. That's Rob in third now. That's the Rockstar Ford of, yes, that's Todd LeDuc.
You're right, but third is good enough. Remember, that's exactly where he needs to finish. It doesn't matter what happens with Todd or Ricky. It would be Rob McCachran's championship.
Yeah, but we saw what he did. Look at him putting his hand up. You look at him getting pelted by, that's a dangerous move right there, Marty. Remember years ago, Scott Taylor broke his forearm behind knee trying to block some rocks. It's always dangerous when you do that.
And Taylor, as we already know, out of this race with that broken right front suspension. Right now, Todd LeDuc trying to do all he can to track down Ricky Johnson, but Ricky has about a 6-truck length lead.
Well, and remember, LeDuc still has an outside chance in the championship if he can get these guys to break, so he's looking for it.
Yeah, he needs both these guys to give him some help, though. Right now, this is the points battle. 1 point separates McCachran from Rick Johnson. That's what happens by being in third and Ricky up front. And no, LeDuc spins out, and that means McCachran's now second.
Wow, what a great move by Robbie to miss that. That is not what Ricky Johnson wanted to see. He was hoping they'd collect each other right there.
And now the 3 of Todd LeDuc has to fight his way back. A little further back, there's Ryan Arciero in his rookie debut. He's got the idea. Whoops, well, almost.
Arciero Vineyards on the side of that. Mr. Arciero's wines are very tasty, if you ever wondered.
Don't drink and drive at the same time, though, especially off-road. It could be very painful. All right, let's set this for you because it is still Ricky Johnson in front and Rob McCachran second. It's McCachran's championship if it stays the same. Let's go back and show you what happened here with the 3.
Right there, Todd LeDuc over-rotated McCachran on the brakes right at the last second, just misses him. That could be the championship move.
Well, before the race, Todd talked about the season that he's had.
You know, to be in the points chase, you know, at Paris, you know, even the second to last round, coming here, I was like, wow, this is like a dream year. And this series is so cool, dude. I really enjoy it here. Like, all the best drivers are here. The sponsors are here. The TV's getting better. And, you know, these tracks here in these big cities, I think it's really cool.
Marty, the TV's getting better. Is that us?
Well, I'm thrilled that I'm called Dude, you know? On board with Ricky Johnson as he is doing everything he can. And he has radio communication. He knows exactly what's going on behind him.
Absolutely. Right now, his spotter's telling him right where Rob is. His spotter's telling him that he's in the spot. His spotter almost gave him the best news Ricky could ask for, which was him and Todd collected each other. Rob did a great job of missing it. Now Ricky just needs that mistake, and Ricky's just driving smooth. Look at Ricky right now. He's just putting that thing right in that soft dirt, right where he wants it. He's not pushing anything real hard. And McCachran, though, he's in clear air also. He's doing the same thing, just trying to stay safe.
Well, Ricky Johnson has 4 wins. So does Rob McCachran. The difference is, back at Bark River in round number 7, Ricky Johnson came home in 14th position. The white flag is out. He's going to look back, and if he loses this championship, and it looks like he might, that's the round that's going to haunt.
We saw it a second ago when Rob was in third. It's 1 point. How about the 2 bonus points that Rob, or the 1 bonus point Rob battled for with Menzies on that last corner? This could be big.
There's the margin back to second place to Rob McCachran. Todd LeDuc's out of the mix. He is running in 4th right now. In fact, he's battling it out with Dan Vandenheuvel right there.
And Vandenheuvel's trying to get up to 4th in points, so there's point battles everywhere.
And remember, Vandenheuvel got spun out, I think, at least once, and then got nudged another time.
Oh, and he's nudging old Todd LeDuc back right there. Dan not taking any of the LeDuc stuff. He's got experience on his own side.
Here's Ricky Johnson. He's done everything he possibly could today. He is coming home with the win. The problem is, off into the distance, you're going to see the number 11 of Rob McCachran as he's going to win his first ever 2-wheel drive championship here in TORC competition. And look at the battle for 3rd. It's going to be Vandenheuvel getting Todd LeDuc right at the stripe with Mike Oberg coming across the line in 5th. So the championship goes to McCachran. The race win goes to Ricky Johnson. He has the most wins, but he's going to lose the championship by so little. Let's talk to him.
With the points race being so close, is there any regrets about maybe being or having want to have been more aggressive earlier in the season?
But yeah, I mean, you can always say, you know, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. There was times when I was a little too patient. There was times I made some mistakes and was maybe too aggressive and got caught up and stuff. But it plays out the way it plays out. I'm really proud of everybody from TORC. They put on an awesome series. They put this thing together with no time at all. And to be here on ABC is awesome.
Dan, congratulations. You had a couple of battles going on out there, a little bit with McCachran, a little bit with Duke. Were you trying to be the spoiler out there?
You know, we had a great tire set up. Max has hooked us up awesome today. I went into corner one. Jeremy got a little aggressive, spun me out, came back, spun me out again. I'm way back in the pack, had to fight from darn near last all the way up here on the podium. We had to, and I believe we took 4th place. So we had to be here. I was battling with Todd there for a while. And I knew, you know, if he got in front of me, I don't think it helped his points any, but I had to stay here to get 4th. So this is way cool.
Well, and the sad news for Dan is he's off by 4. He's 5th behind Jeremy McGrath. Let's talk to our champion.
You know, I knew it was going to be tough. Ricky's a very, very tough competitor. And when I came out here, I saw this mud on the track. I was like, man, I got to stay out of trouble. And we got spun around right there in the first corner. I got back, and I said, oh, boy, here we go. Things going to start not falling into place for us. But, you know, our spotter, Ian, kept telling me, dig, dig, dig. And, you know, I kept counting the points in my head. And I tell you what, there was a big sigh of relief for me, and I'm sure all of my team, once we're in 2nd place and just running around there riding the rail, you know, watching Ricky get out front. The guys at Rockstar Energy Drink, BF Goodrich Tires, Fox Shocks, Mastercraft Seats, Jim Blackmore, crew chief, Dave Frugia, you know, they worked really hard all year long for this championship.
And there's another group that we should congratulate. It's everybody at TORC. Believe me, I know how difficult it is to run a brand new race series, and they did a superb job. Final thoughts from you, Brendon?
What great racing. I can't wait till next year. ABC, I mean, TORC did a great job, but look at the level of competition they put on the track.
And it has stops all around the country, and it's going to be back again next year, and the racing will be bigger and better than ever. For our entire ESPN on ABC crew, I'm Marty Reid. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Traxxas TORC Off-Road Racing Series. Till we meet again.